I'm Jim. Welcome to the Witch's Cauldron. Today I'd like to speak about witchcraft and occultism and how do we define these terms? How do we explain what this is systematically? Historically, witchcraft is in many cultures across centuries. So, trying to get this down to a historical standpoint where it started, you're not gonna get much luck into doing that. What is the difference between witchcraft and occultism? Again, uh, I really don't know. I mean, I've been a practitioner for 20 plus years. I've been a researcher for 20 plus years. Um, what's the difference? I don't know. I guess witchcraft and the occult is basically the system of non dogma. And again, saying that isn't right because in your ritual practice or your ceremonial practice, you have rules and regulations to what you're doing. So that's your dogma, but you've made it your own. So a, a church dogma. It's not a religious dogma. And then again, with religions, you have different sects of religions, whether it's Christianity or Buddhism or Hinduism or Judaism. It doesn't matter. There's different sects. So when I look at witchcraft, the occult, I visualize a tree with different branches coming off of the tree, whether it's ceremonial magic, necromancy, hoodoo, ritual magic, Wicca, even the spirituality is part of the occult. So there's just different branches off of this. You can't really nail it down to where it came from, when it started, and who did what. You know, your different systems. Yeah, you have people that started your different systems, whether it's chaos magic or goetic magic or um, grimoire magic. Whatever the case may be. Um, you can do that, but trying to get it down to where it started. I mean, you can go back to the witch trials, but again, witchcraft started way before the witch trials ever happened. And the witch trials here didn't start till like the late 1600s. In Europe, they were earlier, 1400s, 1500s. But anyway, so that's it. To me, witchcraft or the occult, which I think are synonymous label wise, you're basically doing what you want. There's no book. I mean, there's no Bible of witchcraft. There's no Bible of the occult. All these grimoires and historical texts are great for stepping stones and getting ideas, but the thing is with magic, with any type of magical practice, you're going to make it your own. It's going to come from you. It's all your energy, so you can use these things for guides. Um, and again, you can use a grimoire step by step verbatim if you want to, but again, I don't think you're supposed to do it that way. All these things historically are dated culturally, so you got to look at that from that standpoint. So, I mean, even as Aleister Crowley, when he did his rituals and ceremonies out of grimoires, he didn't do them verbatim. He twisted it. He made it into his system. So that's what you have to do. You make it your own system. You can get ideas from this. Practice this stuff. What works, what doesn't work. But yeah, you really have to put your energy and intent into this, and that's a big deal. And that's a big, big, big deal. You really need to do that. Um, and I mean, you can do it any way you want to do it. Like drumming. Drumming is great for channeling spirits. Certain beats, yeah, certain music influences your mind. Certain beats influence your mind. So it's like a meditative practice, but it's not meditation. It's similar, but not the same. So there's a lot of that stuff going on here in the occult where there's similarities, but they're not the same. And we're just dealing with labels and language here, which gets confusing to some people. But again, I'm going to say there's not a book on witchcraft. You're not going to find a book that's going to tell you exactly how to start practicing this if you're a beginner. Just read text, read historical text, like genuine text from occultists historically, researcher editors or translators. And I stated previously, there's a lot of books out there that are just bullshit. They're just bullshit. Um, they're not going to give what you want to get. Get in the historical stuff. Research it, play around with it, make it your own, figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and that's where you're going to get your knowledge and your practice and your practitioner foundation, as I would say. And the purpose of witchcraft or the occult, to me, the purpose of that is to find yourself. It's not about manipulation of other people or gaining wealth or gaining fame or gaining sex or any of that stuff, which is all in grimoires. It's all there. But that's not the purpose of it. If you're using it for the purpose of that, I think you're missing the absolute truth of magical practice. To me, magical practice is finding who you are. Okay. And that's an inner journey. That's inner work you need to do, and you need to figure out how to do that. I think if you're like practicing the occult or witchcraft, at some point I think you belong to a church, or at least you're around a lot of people that were in the church, and you left that system because you didn't agree with that system. Ethically, your ethics were not in line with that system for some reason. I can't tell you why. I can tell you why I left the church, but that's another story. But ethically, it just wasn't there. Morally, it didn't feel right. So there was something that caused you to leave the religious path and get onto the spiritual path or the witchcraft path or occult path, and figure out what you want to do for yourself. And I think that's a lot of what's going on nowadays is people finding out who they are, why they're here, and what they're supposed to be doing. And that's why, I've chosen this path. That's why I've been practicing for so long. So that's my 2 cents on the whole witchcraft, occult, I guess, system, if you want to call it that. I can do a more lengthy episode on this if you want me to, but I'm just trying to keep it simple. I mean, it's not simple, but as simple as I can keep it. So do good works, and I'll see you next time.